Hi everyone, Tara here, and this is my 40 breeder Congo tank. It's just a quick update on it. It was the second most requested video in my poll, so I figured I would just put it in between the at least two parts of the rock and mineral series. The fish are freaked out because of the good old predatory phone fish, so I'm going to include some shots I have snuck of them in here so you can see them a little bit better. I have 5 Congo Tetras, 4 female, 1 male, and I have 1 female Empire gudgeon. And they really make great tank mates. The only thing I have to do special for the Empire gudgeon is every other day when I feed dry foods, I soak it in a little bit of water, because the Congos will eat from the surface, but she will not. So if it all sinks, then she has just as equal of a chance as getting the food as they do. And you can see they like hiding in this back right corner. When I first got these fish, that's all they would do, is hide in this back right corner. And I thought, you know, it's all right. They're new to this tank. They're new to everything. They'll get used to it after a little while. Well, after 2 weeks, I was kind of tired of not seeing my fish. So what I did is I sat here with the lid open, and then every time they came out, I put a little piece of food in. Did that for about 10 minutes every day for about a week, and then after that, they were fine. They were out and about all the time, unless, of course, I get my camera out. So they're really highly food motivated fish, and I've trained them to eat from my hand, and I've trained them to jump for treats, which normally I would not want to train any fish to jump, but these guys, they can't jump very high. Like, they try. If I hold my finger more than like a centimeter above the water, they can't get the food. For the Botanicals, what I used to do is boil a pot full of Botanicals, some mopani wood, catappa leaves, alder cones, lotus pods, stuff like that. And I would boil that up and then pour the tannin water through some filter floss into a bucket and make up about a gallon of it that I used for adding into their water changes. I felt like it was the most economical way to do that, and it allowed me to see like how much I was putting in every week. I don't do that anymore because one day I had my pot of boiling Botanicals going, and I had a lot on my mind, and I forgot. And I left the house for about 3 hours. And when I came back and opened the door, smoke flooded out, and I remembered, and I ran down to the fish room, and the fire had put itself out in the pot, but it looked like spent charcoal. It took me like 3 hours at least to clear all the smoke out of the room. There was ash like all the way on the other side of the room, and it took about a month for the fish room to stop smelling like a wood fire. So that's why I don't do that anymore. I use Brightwell's blackwater additive, and I also have catappa leaf tea bags in the filter, as well as peat balls. And the whole reason I started adding tannins is because I wanted a couple of lampi Congo tetras in with these fish, and they need a little bit of a lower pH. Those fish, however, are really expensive and difficult to come across, and I don't really see them in my future anytime soon, but I've just kept it this way. I have had a good degree of difficulty getting plants to grow in this tank. Most of the crypts that I have in here are Bacchetti. Those are doing really well. So that is the bulk of the darker leaved crypts that are in here. The other one that does okay is Lucens. And then these are just like a couple of babies that I took from another tank and added in. I wanted something taller to place in front of the sponge filter, so I put a red tiger lotus, and that did not make it. Now I have a dwarf aquarium lily, but I don't know how tall it's gonna get because these fish find it delicious. You can see all of the little bite marks on the edges of the leaves. And recently I have added in a red undulata. If that doesn't make it, I'm gonna try a Eusteriana. I have had Crypt costata and Crypt spiralis, both not appreciate this tank. And then in the back here, this is green wedi, or wentii, which is living, but it's a little bit stunted. Over here in this tank, I have quite a few of them. One I planted at the same time I planted it in the Congo tank, and it's just put out runner after runner after runner. So you can see the difference in the way that's growing compared to this tank. The Bacchetti, or Bacchetti, they do put out runners. Like there's one, and there's another little one back there, and one there. That is the Bacchetti. So those are happy. I have a couple little Java ferns in here. I do not do that well with Java ferns. They look a little rough, like this leaf here, but these are the last of my Java ferns. I pulled them from every other tank I had because they were just not doing well at all, just completely dying, and I gave some away and I threw some out. But these ones are actually doing better than they were in any of my other tanks, despite how kind of rough the one on the left looks. So I might keep them in here for a while and see how they do. That one there is actually a pink flamingo crypt, which is a type of wentii that I put in, and you can see it's just solid green because it doesn't get the light that the other tanks get. That is an empty snail shell. My Empire, she does eat snails. So if you have a pest snail problem, an Empire gudgeon might be for you. She does fortunately leave my Nerite snail alone, which is right now up here. So that is about it for the update on this tank, and I hope you all enjoyed it, and thank you so much for watching. Bye. Ow, damn. Should we try that again?